Yeah, this is what I was talking about.
My wife joins us, Erica Kirk,
Hi,
the beautiful,
everyone.
legendary Erica.
Who is more conservative and why?
Erica,
Yes.
by far. Not even close. I am a moderate compared to Erica.
Yeah, so she's evil as well. And she just signed on as the next CEO of Turning Point USA. Yeah, she's evil. As much as the kid is lucky to not have to be around Charlie Kirk anymore, this is who the kid's gonna be around. Charlie wasn't always this Nazi. The first glimpse of him I got was when he was yelling at Cenk Uygur, Hassan's uncle, for living like a capitalist every day. So he went from that to be like, trans people shouldn't exist. Like, that jump is fucking crazy. Let's see how Charlie's legacy will be living on.
Do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years? To which he responds with, too many. A study from...
And I wonder what his answer would have been if he was asked how many conservative mass shooters there have been in America over the past 50 years. Would it still be too many? Would it be a false flag from the government, who recently just deleted a research paper on mass what was it? Yeah. US Justice Department removes study finding that far-right extremists commit far more violence. It's funny that. Extremely funny. So in the wake of Charlie Kirk dying, in the face of free speech, the Trump administration is doing everything but to honor his legacy.
The Violence Prevention Project found that less than 1% of school shootings in the US were carried out by transgender individuals.
Too many, according to Charlie. Too many. Too many mass shootings. Period. What's the common denominator? It's not trans people. Less than 1%. So it's crazy how much the trans boogeyman, boogie them, perchance, exists in the minds of conservatives. When every single major study of population stratification shows them as less than 1%. Like, what the fuck are they doing? Conservatives are so fucking weird over 1%. Not even 1% of the population. It is so disingenuous for anyone to say that Charlie just had opinions. It was a targeted attack on people who constitute less than 5 seats in an NFL stadium.
At the age of 18, he formed Turning Point USA, a conservative activist group known for his series of Prove Me Wrong debates.
So he was always annoying. What was I doing at 18? Elden Ring wasn't out. I didn't even know what I was doing. Not that. Wasn't there this story of his villain arc starting with not being let into West Point because a woman of color took his spot? That's what I've heard. So since then, he was probably conservative beforehand, but that just flipped a switch.
I think that monogamous heterosexual marriage should be a prerequisite to adoption.
Following Charlie's shooting,
He really did have a small face though. Like, especially in this shot. That is a tiny face. God damn, I hope he didn't feel insecure enough to be wanting any gender-affirming care. Like maybe slimming down. You know, because gender-affirming care only relates to cutting off a 14-year-old's breasts, right? In the minds of conservatives anyway. I hope he didn't feel insecure about these man titties going up over here. These aren't normal opinions someone should have.
What is evil about a 15-year-old doing irreversible damage to their own body? Her name is Chloe Cole. You should meet her. That's a detransitioner. So that's a complete lie. That's a talking point of, again, the trans industry to try and make it seem as if we're on...
The trans industry. God, that is so capitalist. What industry are they in? Making weird VTubers? The trans industry. Are they just talking about any Smash Bros tournament ever? They're just talking about being annoying on Twitter? Yeah, kids are lining up on a conveyor belt. On a conveyor belt into the school so the teachers can do the trans operations. Isn't that what Donald Trump said?
I went to a high school where
children.
it was regular that people got nose jobs as like rewards for good test scores. Is that not gender-affirming surgery?
Is a nose job gender-affirming surgery?
Yeah.
I mean, technically, yeah. I don't know about kids getting rewarded with a nose job. Kids rewarded nose job. Well, there's literally one Facebook article from 12 years ago about a kid getting a nose job for school. Huh? Yes, getting a nose job is gender-affirming care. Who's that ugly conservative? Yeah, Laura Loomer got a nose job. Oh my God. Jesus. This is what conservatism does to you. This is the MAGA face. John Mulaney getting a jaw reconstruction, gender affirming care, looking more masculine. Conservatives getting Botox, looking more feminine without the wrinkles. You know, the classic MAGA makeup face? That is gender affirming care. That's the issue with these sweeping generalizations, especially from someone with a platform. They don't care. They don't give a fuck. They'll do whatever they can to categorize anything as bad if it doesn't suit their needs. The needs of his Republican donors, that is. Oh God, this is fucking Haley Welch. After the death of Charlie Kirk.
Over the last few days, I've saw some of the most outrageous and heinous things that you could possibly see on this app. I don't really give a shit who I offend when I say this, but for some people to get on this app and applaud for another human being being unalive, you're a sick fucking individual. You didn't have to agree with anything that man said. Not a single thing he said, preached, practiced.
You didn't have to agree with anything he said, as if anything he said was worthy of that sort of grace. Like, you didn't have to agree with him saying that black women don't have the brain processing power of white people. You didn't have to agree with it. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna be MAGA, if you're gonna be a Republican, say it with your fucking chest. Don't be like this idiot and cower behind, oh, his kids were there. His wife was there. They saw it. No, they didn't. Just say you're racist. Say you agree with the things he said. They're not going to. They feel safe now that other people are coming out about Charlie to also come out and say, hey, you know, by the way, I'm a Republican, but yeah, we should feel sorry for him. They feel safe now to say all that. Like, where were you before his death? Were you just quietly agreeing with him? Staying in the shadows because you're too much of a bitch to be an out and about proud Republican? Like, at least leftists say it with their fucking chest.
And just be fucking respectful. Like, the man literally...
The way he was respectful to the trans community, to the LGBTQ community, to people of color, right? Respectful, right? While his fans were cheering on Twitter when that trans kid went viral for killing themselves. Be respectful. Are you fucking kidding me?
You don't have nothing nice to say? Don't fucking say nothing at all.
I can't watch this bullshit, truly. She's just another inbred hick Republican. Like, that's it.
Should kids be able to own AR-15s?
No,
Why?
because that is harmful. It can be a
So AR-15s are harmful, but cutting off your breasts or potentially castrating yourself, gender...
Doesn't happen. Oh, can you imagine someone rocking up to a school with an AR-15 just full of estrogen? Is that what he's imagining in his head? Like, AR-15s were created to kill people, Charlie. I mean, if anyone knows, it probably was, it was a hunting rifle, wasn't it? But no, if anyone should, I guess this is in the past, but if anyone should know the danger of guns, it would be Charlie. I mean, fuck around, find out. Isn't that what conservatives say?
That you were trying to get the officer who murdered George Floyd pardoned, and I just want to know
Yes,
what your
ma'am.
reaning was about that.
Well, George Floyd didn't die because of the police officer. He died largely because of a drug overdose.
Incorrect. Even if Charlie said was right, largely because of a drug overdose. What was another contributing factor? The police pulling him out of the car, stomping on his neck, remaining there for 9 minutes until he was dead. So he has no problem disingenuously talking about the death, the politicization of the death of George Floyd. But now Republicans are getting angry at leftists and liberals for saying exactly what killed Charlie Kirk, being himself, being the lack of gun control. Riddle me that.
But the knee on the neck is actually an approved police technique that police departments taught Derek Chauvin to use.
It was taught to him, so it was right. That's up there as one of the dumbest things he said. Like, yeah, these idiots who choose to be in the police force are also taught how to use a gun. Is that right? Did that help at Uvalde when they sat around for 20 minutes doing fuck all? This is so... I am not continuing with this video. It is so fucking disingenuous. Especially posthumously when we talk about Charlie Kirk's death, right? As a matter of fact, right? He was killed by a right-wing nut job with no connections to the left. He had a trans roommate, apparently. That's not inherently leftist. The only reason you think it's inherently leftist is because you drag them week in, week out through the media, through your politics, trying to eradicate them. He had no connections to the left at all. So when we say that, right, they get mad, whilst they've been making fun of George Floyd for the past however many fucking years since it's happened. Freedom of speech, my ass. Conservatives are amongst the lamest populations I've ever seen, ever had the displeasure of interacting with. They are some of the most sensitive assholes in the world, and now they have no problem parading this fascist government cracking down on free speech after the death of Charlie Kirk, who also said hate speech doesn't exist. So what now, right? How are we going to get to a point post-MAGA, when Donald Trump finally carks it, how are we going to get to a point where conservatives can actually be a part of communities anymore? They have drawn the line so thick over the past few years, and every time they get a little taste of their medicine, they start bitching and moaning about how we're the party of murder, the party of hatred. Such a fucking cop-out from such a fucking loser population.